Hello everyone, welcome to Friday Fun. Today we are going to try and sprout our own onions. So I am in my kitchen today and we are going to try and grow our own onions. For this lesson you will need some toothpicks, a short shallow container, the root end of an onion or the butt end, and a little bit of water. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to take our small container and we are going to add just a little bit of water to it. So I added some water here, so we just want enough water that when we put our onion in here, that the butt part reaches, but the rest of the flesh or the top doesn't go into that water, because if it goes into that water, it will rot. Oh, and if you have an outside layer of this onion, you're going to want to remove it because it will be the first thing to get really rotted and gross. So I'm going to take some of the skin off here. Okay, so I have mine as clean as I can get it. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a few toothpicks and you're going to stick it in your onion. So I grabbed 4 toothpicks out, and I'm just going to stick it in the sides here. And what you're going to do is you're just going to use these to balance it on top of your bowl. Oops. Okay, so I have my 4 in there. I'm going to have to add a little bit more water so that the roots can touch. So I added more water to my container, and if you can see in there, just the butt of the onion is touching into the water, and this will create an environment where more live roots can sprout. It will take a few days, so we're going to set it off to the side, but in a few days we should see some more roots growing, and we should see the start of some onion shoots coming out of the top of the flesh. Okay, so I left my onions sitting in some water for about a week now, and if you lift it up, you can see all the root system that has started to grow. So we have a pretty good root system going on. What I did in the meantime is I changed out the water every few days so that it had nice clean water. And if you look really closely here, you can see at the top of those 2 circles in the middle, it's starting to sprout some greens. So I'm going to leave this in some water probably for another week or so until we really get some greens started, and then we can transplant it into a pot. Welcome back everyone. So we are in to check on our onion, and as you can see, my onion grew a really big leaf there. So it's starting to grow the stem. I thought I was going to get 2 onions out of this one, but it looks like I'm only getting 1 bulb. And that's okay. Here are all of the roots that our onion made over time though. So it's growing really well. It's growing taller and taller every day. So this is now considered an onion bulb. So onions come from bulbs, which are small, almost like seeds, but they're small packets of onions. So it's like a small ball instead of like a seed. But it's a type of seed. So we are going to use our bulb and we are going to plant it in this pot here. So in this pot I have a few inches of potting soil. And I've made sure that it's nice and dark, so it's nice and wet in there for our onion. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our onion and I'm going to pull out all the toothpicks that we had put in there. And if you would like to, you can pull back some of these onion pieces as well. I'm going to just pull them down a little bit since we have a lot of roots on our onion. Oh man, oh Well, I still have one, but I broke off one of the stems, so it's going to keep continuing to grow. It'll be okay. But we have to be very careful. It's very fragile. So I'm going to pull back these pieces of onion here. So if you look close, you can see. So here's one bulb that's growing. This was our big one. And then there was a small one growing as well. I don't think the small one's going to survive, but the big one might. So you can try and like cut off these extra pieces if you want, but I don't want to damage the roots. So I'm just going to take my bulb and I'm going to plant it down just a few inches. So you want to make sure that your onion, the stem is still sticking up out of your soil, and make sure that the roots are down, but you don't want to plant it all the way down. So I'll give you a closer look. So here is my onion. So it's been transplanted into this pot. So the next step for the onion is to grow more greens and grow up taller. So you want to water this every few days once you notice that the soil is really dry. So you want to let it grow and grow, and then eventually, if it's a healthy plant and it likes the pot that it's in, it will start to flower, and it will eventually drop seeds, and then we will have new onion seeds that will grow. Once this flowers, you can collect the greens and eat them. Onion greens are good to throw in different dishes and cooking, so you can use that as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this Friday fun lesson today, and we will see you again soon.